Hello everyone, this is Darryl20, and welcome to episode 73 of Darryl20's Let's Play series, where today I want to get to the advanced stuff in pneumatic craft repressurized. So we need some advanced pressure tubes so that we can make things like advanced liquid compressors and a bunch of other things that are all kind of like the later stage stuff, right? So there's a bunch of cool stuff to make, and really the gate for this was you can only make advanced pressure tubes by using the assembly controller. That's it. You can either use the laser program with pressure chamber valves, 20 pressure chamber valves equals 8 pressure tubes, or you could use one compressed iron block to make 8 pressure tubes. So I feel like this is probably the cheaper. I didn't actually do the math on it, but it's easier. So assembly program, drill, and laser required for this though. So what I did is I ordered from my Amazon tablet the drill and laser guy. Now I'm pretty sure if I put this in here, nothing will happen. Okay, good. And then if I put my block of compressed iron in, now something will happen. And we're running. Sweet. That is cool. That is super cool. So you're keeping our pressure nice and steady. You guys are not doing as good a job as I would like. You're doing okay. You're not great, but you're definitely not producing enough. That's for sure. That's why we're doing this, because I want to redesign my my whole environment here. I basically want to move all the air compressors that I have going on into the basement, and then I want two kind of systems, like low pressure over here and high pressure might be over here, because some machines can accept greater than 5. I don't know that we've seen too many of them yet, but some can totally accept greater than 5. Yeah, like this guy, thermopneumatic processing plants can get up to 10, right? The fluid mixer is only 5. I think 10 might be the highest, but I think you can get up to, I don't know, 20-ish maybe? Whatever. Long story short, you've got low pressure and high pressure systems that you want to mess with. So you can see the laser going on there. The drill must have already done his job, which is cool. And now we've made our thing. And then the other thing I want to work on today is making lubricant. So currently, our biofuel is going towards making our plastics. But if we use biodiesel with redstone dust, we can get lubricant. We only need 100-degree temperature, which isn't too bad. So that's the same thing that you have, right? So we can take our biodiesel, instead of adding charcoal to get molten plastic, we can add redstone to get lubricant. The problem is it's unlike the plastic migration, which is 100 to 1,000. Lubricant is 1,000 to 1,000, so it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So I will only get 2 buckets of lubricant out of this 2 buckets of biodiesel that I have. And the reason things are slowed down here is because pressure is just not good enough, right? Like I don't have enough pressure down here to process my wheat into stuff, and that's a big part of where our problem's coming in. So I'm thinking I might want to check out the processing line for oil, because we can get pneumatic craft oil. And if we got that, then what we could do is refine it into diesel, kerosene, gasoline, and LPG with the refinery, which we haven't looked at too much yet. So we might want to play with that today, just to see what that's like. And I don't know how much oil we're going to be able to find, but it's worth taking a look. So I think my plan is thus. What I'd like to do is following this. We're going to get some advanced pressure tubes. Then I'm going to get some advanced compressors, probably the liquid and air ones, and we will use the tubes along with pressure limiter guys to say like, hey, let's get enough pressure going in the pipes to keep all our machines over here running happily. We'll probably limit everything beyond here to a 4. And then we'll go from there and maybe look into oil. All right, so that's the plan for today's episode. Let's get started. Now, can I tick accelerate you? He doesn't seem like tick accelerating him does much, does he? So who's the brains of this operation? That might have done something. I think the rendering doesn't keep up. The drill's going. Drill. Look at that cool little animation. All right, so let me come back when we've got more of these tubes. I might want... what I'm going to do is get 16 more blocks of iron turned into blocks of compressed iron. I think that should work because we have 2 in there. Unless opening that door drops me below 2. Nope, we're good. Sweet. Beautiful. Alright, so let's come back in a minute once we've got enough tubes here. Fair? And I would like all my tubes to be advanced at this point, but like I said, well, maybe not all. Maybe we'll use some pressure tubes. But I want at least advanced ones. You might be able to be good now. Let's see. So we're definitely tiering up. So what I'd like to do is, now this is gonna be loud, but I'm gonna break all these machines here and basically lose all the pressure that we have going on. And I should probably re-equip my magnet at this point. Cool. And we shouldn't need this whole setup at all anymore, because everything is now... So we shouldn't need the UV light box. We shouldn't need any of the pipe stuff. We shouldn't need the etching tank. That should all be done with by now, because we're doing that over here at this point, right? And I might leave this system a little self-isolated. I might reconnect it to everything once I get my advanced air compressors. So let's take our existing air compressors, right? Now this is going to really make a lot of noise, so I apologize in advance. I wonder if I can lower the volume of it. Let's see. Pneumaticraft. How's that? Better? That seems good to me. Yeah, so basically all the air is going to leak out now. And once it's fully empty... If I break you... Oh wow, that was... Yeah, I'd like you all to leak out, maybe. Because I'm going to basically remove all of this stuff. I'm going to do this off camera because it's getting loud. Even with the muffling. Alright, so here's what I'm thinking. So advanced pressure tubes can go up to 20 bars of pressure, right? So if I connected those, and let's say that we wanted them like this, and then what I want is, let's do 3 advanced air compressors and see how that goes, and then if we want to go the liquid route, we can. Is that cool? Now, didn't I have some of you? Yes, good. Perfect. Perfecto. So I'm going to do you, and you like we had before. Okay. And I would like your redstone signal to be running on a low signal. So you run on a low signal, you run on a low signal. And then what I'd like is my pressure doohickey. Did I put that in the chest up here? Nope. Did I put it in this chest? Nope. But I will take you guys. So I can get rid of this chest. Where did I put that pressure doohickey? I thought I had one. There it is. Pressure gauge dude. I definitely want one of these. Right? And he's going to... Now, if I give him the upgrade thing, I can now say emit when lower than, let's say, 16. Does that sound cool? Okay. And then I'll make you guys actually require a high signal. And using my nodes, you can extract, which is basically output mode. Cool. And then you will get a node for input. Okay. And then you guys should all get your boop, boop, whoops, boop, with cables connecting them all together. Cool. And then you guys can export this stuff. Okay, so you've all got charcoal. You're not running yet because I haven't connected these lasers, right? So you are getting a redstone signal. but I haven't connected the lasers with the laser wrench yet, and I'm purposely holding off on that until I have everything else hooked up properly. Now, what we probably also want in addition here is the thing, and I always forget the name of this thing because I'm just a dire derp. Pressure regulator module? Yes. Yeah. This principle can be used as a transformer on the input. Wide side is high pressure air, but on the regular tube limit is low pressure output. Yes. Perfect. Let's go ahead with the module expansion card with that one. So that is the regulator module. Okay. And that's going to regulate like this. So the wide side to the low side. Maybe I don't want to put that there, though. Maybe I want to have you one higher up, and then we'll regulator you here into a low pressure module. And my understanding is I can also apply an expansion card here. Regulator module, threshold, let's make it 4.5 bars of pressure. So in theory, we will stop producing pressure when this whole system here reaches 15 bars, 16 bars. But the regulator module will only allow 4.5 bars to go through. So that means everything else that's connected up here will only get up to 4.5 bars. Is that cool? I think that's cool. Now, what I might want to do, let's actually, I might want to plan a little bit more ahead for this. So how are we doing with this stuff? Actually, very good. Thank you. Very, very good. We may not need this much more of this stuff, so I'm going to hold off on making much more. But in fact, let's plan for the eventuality, which is we will probably... So let's do this. Let's have the advanced tubes come up here, because eventually they might want to go that way for advanced and this way for low, right? So what I'm going to do, yeah, I know, is something like this. And then I'm going to reapply you, and you can be 4.5 bars of pressure, right? And then I'm going to have my charging station sitting right here, ready to go. Is that sufficient, or do you think I should go... I don't know if we're going to need anything else low pressure up here, but we might. We might want to... That might be a little too tight. See, Dyer just redesigns things as he goes. Kind of how I work. So maybe here-ish will be the cutoff point. I like that. Okay. And then here's where we will do this dude. Upgraded. 4.5. Have I done this enough times? You guys know how this works now? And then you. Okay. And that works without a redstone signal, I believe. Threshold 4.5, advanced config. Yeah, if you wanted to mess with it based on the redstone signal strength, you could, but I'm just saying, hey, your threshold's 4.5. Now we don't need to go to redstone signal, as far as I understand. If I'm wrong, something will blow up, and you guys will laugh, and it'll be funny for everyone. So, yeah, I think we're good to turn this on now. Cool. All right, yeah, so everybody should be groovy. So let's connect you two with our laser wrench and see what happens. So you guys should be running now. And remember, they have a heat problem that we're going to have to deal with, right? So let's not forget about that. But let's see what kind of pressure we build up in here. So across the board, we're balancing pretty well. It might be still a good idea to use the advanced pressure tubes. I wonder if they, like, do better at transmitting. I can't tell. Do you think they're better at transmitting air pressure as well as being able to have higher ones? Now, these guys are getting hot pretty quickly, so let's get some cooling going on here. Looks like I'm heading home to repair a pickaxe. Cobalt, please. I knew it was coming. Do you think we should do, like, Vortex Tubes? Would that be cool? Talk to me about this, and if I put you on the cold side facing... Is there a... So 20 bars is the max pressure this thing can receive. Maybe we can keep him cool? With air pressure? Would that be nifty? And then we're probably going to want a heatsink too. So let's do 1, 2 more of you. So you and you. And then we'll want heatsinks. Now, if these heatsinks aren't sufficient, we can do more with them. But we'll figure that out. So all we should, in theory, have to do is connect a high-pressure dude here to get them all syncing. And then... this. And these guys will all get pressure. And they should start cooling down our temperatures here. So yeah, you can see our efficiency's low, right? Warnings. The compressor is running at suboptimal efficiency, 88%. Cool the machine down below 50C. So I am trying. Are you running Vortex Tube or no? You would think you would be cool. Temperature 45 on the bottom. You guys are, like, working, right? I expected this to bring the temperature down faster, and it's super not. It's actually increasing the temperature even more. I didn't face it the wrong way, did I? Oh. That's actually funny. I mean, I guess we could use, like, ice of some kind, right? Blue ice, packed ice. Let's see what the temperature threshold is. So, temperature -20. Heat capacity 7,500. So blue ice seems to be better. Blue ice seems like the best one. I'm assuming yes. So I'm curious what will happen if I put blue ice here. Will that do anything? It's definitely bringing down the temperature here a little bit. I can't tell if these vortex tubes are doing anything. They should be. They should be doing something. We're at 85% efficiency now. Maybe these just get so hot the vortex tubes can't handle it? It's possible. I want to see what happens if I put the blue ice. And I can always make more blue ice, right? Bottom temperature? Wow, okay, that's a big deal. Look at the bottom temperature. It's like super hot. Is that going to melt my blue ice? I don't know. I would imagine at some point it will. Look, the scale changed because it went over 100. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know that this vortex tube is going to be able to keep it cool enough. I think we're going to have to see what we can do. Now, for fun, I'm going to put another one here with a heatsink and just see what happens with 2 vortex tubes and heat sinks. Is that fair? Is that going to bring you down? A little bit. It went down a little bit. It definitely did. That might be working. The heatsink is definitely not as good as the blue ice will be, though. Now, didn't we read something about blowing air over a heatsink? I feel like I did. Right? So heat sinks can be more efficient by blowing air over them, right? Where's that heat chapter? Hotter than 60 C or colder than negative C will hurt you when touched. From the block they're directly connected to connect up many heat sinks, use heat pipes that provide more surfaces. You can increase the effectiveness of heat sink by placing a range of an air grate module. The module's range is displayed when you attach it to a pressure tube. The cooling effectiveness can be stacked by using multiple air grate modules. Okay, so if I wanted heat pipes, so thermal lagging is this, and then a heat pipe looks like this. And what if I wanted a few more heat sinks then? Right? So your heat sink, yeah, you're just not keeping him cool enough. Though you're at 75 C, so that's kind of nice. So the 2 vortex tubes are doing a pretty good job. How's my pressure up here, by the way? I assume it's equally, pressurized across the board. Yes. So let's see what happens if I give you more heat sinks. Would that be cool? If I did this, 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 and this, that would distribute the heat a little bit better. And that might make our bottom temperature be cooler, which will bring down the top temperature. I guess we'll see. Let's keep an eye on it for a bit. I'll come back in a minute when I'm ready to tell you guys how this made out. So basically, we're checking if 2 vortex tubes are better than what we've got going on here. I guess we'll find out. Now, I'll tell you what, though. Throwing a couple heat sinks directly on the air compressors seems to be doing a pretty good job, too. So maybe we don't need vortex tubes. What if we just use thermal lagging and heat sinks rather than the vortex tubes? Like, the vortex tubes seem to be working. Not gonna lie. But maybe instead of you, okay, what we could do, boy, inventory is always a problem for Dyer, isn't it? Let me put this vortex tube away. What if we did this? Would that help? I mean, that's bringing the temperature down a little bit better. So do you think that's actively pulling well enough? Because that could be cool. He seems to be dropping, which is good. For sure. For sure he seems to be dropping. Maybe I'll get rid of the vortex tubes. Because they're obviously using a lot of air pressure, which is bad. Okay. And instead, we use thermal lagging, which I think I'm going to want a little bit more of. Okay. And I'm not going to lag in the middle here. I'm basically going to... Well, maybe I will, but we're going to want more heat sinks. Okay. Is that cool? We're just going to have to see. Them being this tight might be a problem, but we'll find out. We'll see what kind of temperature they stabilize at this point, and I'll come back. So you know what? I feel like this is kind of working. What happens is eventually the whole system stabilizes, and the air compressors turn off, and then they cool, and then we're pretty good. So I think just throwing heat sinks on the bottom seems like a good enough solution. So that's what I'm going to go with. Because I basically went AFK for a while and came back to see everything, pretty nice, actually. Now I'm debating if I want to replace the existing pressure tubes that I have with the higher tier ones, because I'm not sure if they transmit their air pressure better. You know, we would want to keep. Oh, I don't want to be in here. Whoops. Direwolf 20 is as flat as a pancake. I sure am, aren't I? Oh my goodness, that's funny. Okay. Yep. Oh yeah, that's gonna be tricky to get, isn't it? I think I can just do this. I wonder if this will not be cool. Well, I guess I need to be in there, don't I? Oh boy. Let's put away some mess. Look at all the mess I'm making, y'all. Nobody watch. This is embarrassing. This is what I get. Where's the sash go? And you go away, and then you go away. It's fine. We're all stable now. So we were. Yeah, much better. So anyway, yes, things are cool. Basically, you know, once the pressure's good, these guys get turned off, and then they cool off, and then we're good. And when they're only running occasionally, I think the heatsinks are more than enough to keep them cool. Even when they're running a lot, the heatsinks weren't bad. I mean, it was definitely running at, you know, a minimal, a slightly suboptimal, but 99, 98, even 90% efficiency, I'm okay with. It's charcoal. We have unlimited amounts of it. We're fine. My only concern is like this bit here, where this is, because it's so far away from everything. I wonder if using advanced tubes the whole way would be better. What do you guys think? You think so? I mean, we could try replacing them all. If we're quick enough, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Right? I wouldn't think. So what I'd probably want to do is something like this, right? Real quick. And then, you know, go from there. Let me do this real quick and just see how things go. You know, we'll try to be quick. Well, anecdotally, I'm going to go ahead and say that this made an improvement, because this guy's definitely got a lot better pressure going on down here now. So I think replacing everything with the advanced pressure tubes definitely helped, which works by me. Cool. And then you guys are sitting around 60 degrees C, all of you, which is, you know, 96% efficiency. I can live with that. And I'll tell you what, this thing cools off a lot faster now. So I feel like I can reduce this guy down to like 60 ticks. How's 3 seconds sound? I think 3 seconds is almost perfect. That's a lot faster. I effectively just tripled my speed here. Right? More than sufficient to cool it back down. So getting this pressure better, 100% made this a lot faster of a process. So that's awesome. So plastic will be a lot quicker now. So let's make a seismic sensor to look for oil. Yeah, we'll track down some crude oil. Any oil down here? No oil found below. Looks straightforward enough. I wonder if we're going to find any oil anywhere. I have no idea. Apparently oil is more common underground, which is fine. You just click on a block with it and it'll tell you if there's oil there. I guess I'll be back when I find some, because this will get really boring really quick. Hey, look! I found about 90 buckets of crude oil 2 meters below this block. Hooray! I found some above ground. That helps. It's not easy to find underground. I will put it that way. It is not easy at all to find underground. I've been looking around for a few minutes here and no such luck. But we found a few buckets above ground. I'm assuming if I found an underground reserve, it would be a much larger reserve, but yeah, we'll see. But at least I know where one is now if I want to try it out. Makes me wonder if there might be any in this dimension. Possible, right? A lot easier to look for when you don't have mountains in your way. I'll put it that way. All right, so I'm going to check out the gas lift today. I'm going to pop him down there. And then I'm going to make sure that we've got, let's see, he can accept up to 5 bars. We're going to have a pressure tube. We're going to tell you that you work with a low signal. Excuse me, sir, that is very rude. I am working here. So I'll just jump into this oil to put out this fire. So, and then we want a pressure gauge tube. I want to make you a fancy one. And emit when actually lower than 3 bars should be fine. So that you are a high signal. And just give me, like, you know, some charcoal. Actually, we're getting low on charcoal. I should look at speeding up charcoal production, huh? I guess so. Because I am burning through charcoal. Though we might be burning through it less now that we did the advanced stuff and we, like, did better, but we'll see. So anyway, you get a gas lift. We need to insert drill pipes in here. And then we want to set you to pump and leave fluid in tank for filtering. So with this mode, it will place drill pipes under it, breaking any blocks that are in the way. Once it hits a liquid, it will start drawing it up and storing it in its internal buffer. That sound cool? How about a comparator? No, repeater. Do I not have those on autocraft? Bad direwolf. Now you're running. Sweet. All right, and then you need 1 bar of pressure. So realistically, let's just make you 2. Emit when less than 2. Should be more than enough. And because Dire impatient, so you should shortly now be able to get, see, he broke the block, and now he's pumping up oil. Sweet. So there's about 90 buckets here. So let's get an ender tank. Right? And we'll make 1. And we'll make 2. And we'll get some kind of black dye because it's oil. Do we have any squid ink? We do. That should work, right? Squid ink. 1, 2. Does that count as the dye now, or do I have to? I think I have to turn it into black dye. Okay. So boop and boop. So black, white, white will be our oil. And then I want you guys. Boop. And then you're going to insert fluids, and on the down, you're going to extract fluids, and we're good to go. Cool? You're at 5,000, and you're just drawing it out. Awesome. Now, that will probably drain most of this little basin here, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll live. So what I'm going to do is wrap up the episode here. We'll come back next time. We'll turn this oil into whatever we want. Maybe if we could find a better source of oil, that would be cool. And if we can't, that might be a good excuse to get into RF Tools Dimensions. I'm just saying. For now, Dial20 sign off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.